Okay, welcome back everybody to another Magic the Gathering Online League, this time with everyone's favourite, it's Jund. Not played this for a while, but fancied some Jund today. So yeah, thought we'd give it a go. This is a recent 5.0 list from someone, I can't exactly remember, but I think they stream as well. You can find it on Goldfish. Some interesting choices, but willing to give them a go. Got 3 copies of Bonecrusher Giant. I think this card has been kind of slipped on in Jund. I think it's probably really good. Like cascading into it's good. Yeah, only 5 discard spells, which is a little bit odd, but gonna give it a go. And 2 copies of Dark Confidant, which I just love Dark Confidant, so I'm always willing to give that a go. Standard 24 lands, 1 Raging Ravine, 3 copies of Bloodbraid Elf, so shaving one of those. And then pretty standard sideboard. Seen Ghost Quarter popping up in a lot of sideboards recently. Obviously very good with Wrenn and Six, so let's give this a go. Hope everyone's doing very well today as usual. Please do give us a subscribe if it's something you are enjoying, and do let me know if you have any suggestions. Let's get into it. On the play, which is nice. Yeah, I'm not one to turn down turn 2 Wrenn and Six on the play. Yeah, this we can go turn 2 Wrenn and Six, turn 3 K Command or Bonecrusher, turn 4 Bloodbraid, and then we've got this Peatland to then start drawing 2 cards per turn if it turns into a grindy match. Right, yeah, play this and pass. It would be nice if we could go and get a Triome, but sadly not a Jund Triome as yet. Looking like the potentially the mirror. If we get Inquisition here, our hand doesn't. Lava Spike. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. So this is probably some sort of red-black shadow Scourge type. Well, no, because it's not going to be Scourge, because they are playing Blackcleave Cliffs. Okay, I'm fairly confused. How afraid are we that it's going to be a Blood Moon deck? I think I'm afraid enough that it's going to be Blood Moon to go and get basic Forest here. Given that we've got this Wrenn and Six as well, go and get Blood Crypt now. Sadly, we do have to shock for that. I mean, I'm assuming this isn't just red black burn. I did fetch shock there, but yeah. Yeah, it looks like it might just be red black burn. Okay, we're at 7, so this obviously not great for us. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. Don't really want to fetch. How have we taken so much damage? We took 3 from this, 4 from a fetch land, and then, yeah. Okay, yeah, this was partially me misreading the matchup, I think. I think we do need to fetch because we're going to want to play Bloodbraid Elf next turn. And I'm going to stomp here. Maybe I should have K commanded. Okay, that's a Goyf. That is interesting. I mean, I think going to 5 is just as good as going, just as you know, just the same as being at 6. We'd like to see a Goyf or something here, I suppose. Opponent might just have double bolt, but they're slow rolling. Skull crack. Okay, I think we're just probably just dead here. It is a Goyf. But my opponent's still got 3 cards in hand. So I think they're probably all just 2 mana burn spells. So this is red-black burn. Certainly not something we've seen for a while. Do we have any sideboard against this? We got a couple of Collective Brutalities. Yeah, we're just given the business there. Okay. So, burn. So Wrenn and Six is pretty bad against burn. We don't want Dark Confidant. We don't really want Thoughtseize. So what are we going to bring in? So we want Kalitas. We want Collective Brutalities. Probably want another Fatal Push. They must be running creatures. We didn't see any there, but I would imagine they must be. And then we still need 4 cards to bring in. So I'm not keen on many of these. I think it's choice between these. So 4 to bring in. I think we're going to bring in the Plague Engineers. Keep 1 Wrenn and 6 and 1 Thoughtseize. It's not ideal. Sideboard doesn't seem to be overly set up for the burn matchup. We start off with an unkeepable hand, sadly, into another unkeepable hand. I mean, we'll keep this. It's not great, but do we bottom Kalitas? Yeah, 4 mana. So we're going to need to draw a land, really. Green land. Ideally, my opponent will play a Goblin Guide. No, we're not. Yeah, the time we want our opponent to play a creature. Okay, that is a red land, a green land, but sadly it does come into play tapped. So yeah, that implies my opponent doesn't have a turn 1 creature. Do we want to expose our Goyf to dying to Lightning Bolt? I guess we could always Lightning Bolt my opponent in response. Although that doesn't make any difference, does it? If my opponent Lightning Bolts the Goyf, that's not ideal. Hopefully they fetch here. Yeah, so that does save the Goyf from Bolt. Oh, they got Fatal Push as well. This is like a nightmare matchup. Burn splashing for Fatal Push. Burn's never been great for Jund. Oh, they had the Bolt as well. So now we need to find a threat and or a creature. Are they playing white as well? Right, that's a Swift Spear. So I'll let my opponent get to attack, see if they want to spend any more spells. Just going to Fatal Push here. stops a potential light up the stage or skewer the critics. Okay. Bloodstained Mire, not a bad draw. That gets us closer to Raging Ravine. Okay, opponent cracking Sunbait Canyon. So they are running creatures. Okay. I think they've got some like expensive-y type spells in hand, like Skewer, something with Spectacle, Skewer the critics, or Light Up the Stage. Okay, opponent fetching here. Three damage to any target. Okay, that's a interesting one. Do I want to use Lightning Bolt? I think I'm just going to push here. Don't want to take more damage. And then, yeah, I'll just go grab a... should be... I think we'll grab Overgrown Tomb here. So Kroxa is a decent draw, Goyf is a decent draw, Bloodstained Mire not a decent draw. I think we're going to start attacking with this Raging Ravine. Need to get some sort of clock going. And if we attack while they're tapped out, it means that my opponent can't ever bolt the Raging Ravine, which is nice. Opponent plays a land. Skullcraxus. They got one card left. Okay, we're at 3. Yeah, I think Kroxa is actually the better... Well... So how quickly is Raging Ravine going to kill? So it's going to hit in for 5 next turn. This turn, putting my opponent to 9. And then... So if we draw a land next turn that taps for red without taking too much damage, we can kill my opponent next turn. Or we can Kroxa, that heals them 3, they go to 11. We can then bolt them down to 8. Raging Ravine isn't quite enough. I think we have to attack with Raging Ravine here. We need my opponent pretty much to draw a land. And not a burn spell. They haven't just gone for it, so... Right, what do we do here then? Bonecrusher Giant, so 3, 6. I think we might Kroxa here. My opponent might have drawn Fatal Push. So I'm not killing them until next turn anyway. Kroxa deals... it doesn't actually deal them any damage, is the trouble. I think we're going to Kroxa hold up effects, because then we can... Or we could just play the Bonecrusher Giant. I think we're going to go with Kroxa here, because I think my opponent may have Fatal Push in hand. It could be a land. If it's a land, we're still fairly happy. It was Fatal Push. Okay. So now... We need my opponent to fade anyway, so we need to make sure that we kill my opponent next turn. So we're not too afraid of any creatures. We could just play Bonecrusher Giant. So this is attacking for 6. So we have definitely got lethal next turn. What are we afraid of? If they put a blocker down, we can kill it. We could just play Bonecrusher. I think Bonecrusher, yeah, if they cast a spell, then, you know, I think, yeah, we're just going to cast this. Although if they find Fatal Push for our Raging Ravine, Bonecrusher's going to deal them... Yeah, let's say they draw Fatal Push or some other spell. Let's just think about this for a sec. Let's say they draw Fatal Push. So Raging Ravine won't be enough. Nor will Kroxa. I think we've just got to go for this. I don't think there's too much more we can do. And we need my opponent, yeah, to find lands. Or, I mean, another Fatal Push is fine. We found some sort of spell. Oh, come on. I feel like we played that fine. Yeah, I just needed my opponent to not rip a burn spell at that last point. Oh, that's how it goes against burn sometimes. Yeah, always annoying to lose like that. But yeah, see you again for round 2. Okay, we're on the play here. We're against the Yorion deck. Sadly, we can't keep this one land there. Ugh, I think I'm going to keep this. It's, you know, we'll just try and go from out and hope to draw some good stuff. We're going to want to keep one fetch land. I think we'll put a basic forest on the bottom. So basically, Yorion, it could be. I think we'll Bloodstained Mire first. Grows the Goyf, and if it's taxes, so yeah, this could be Death and Taxes, which we want to fetch around Liliana and Arbiter. Or it could be like other Bring to Light piles playing Yorion. We've got all of our kind of colours. What are we going to go and get? What do we want to double up on? More green mana would be nice, I think. Okay, we really don't want to find any more lands now. Let's play this Goyf. Yeah, so Death and Taxes is on the radar. Not with a fetch, actually. So yeah, this isn't Taxes. This is... Could be like a control deck. Could be some sort of scape shift. It's likely something to do with Niv Mizzet, Bring to Light. Okay, so opponent just... Pillar of Power and Puzzle. So Pillar of Power means this is... yeah, this is definitely... Niv Mizzet type deck. So... Yeah, I think we're just going to attack for 1. We could stomp here, but we can't stomp and... I think I'm going to use my mana here and play Bonecrusher Giant. I think we want to get threats onto the field. We're getting like mana leaked. Growth Spiral, not something I've seen since the Euro days. It's a fairy, possibly. Oh yeah, it's a fairy. Okay, bouncing the Goyf. You don't actually take damage from Bonecrusher. Okay, Liliana's nice. How? Don't think I care too much about the fairy at the moment. I think we're just gonna. Well, yeah, we probably want to save Liliana as well in case there's like a Niv Mizzet next turn. It's going to play out a couple of Goyfs. They do run Supreme Verdict, but I think we want to get aggro here. Instant speed Supreme Verdict would be rough. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got a lot of power on the board. Yeah, I don't think we can afford to play around Growth Spiral there. Play around Supreme Verdict. Helix. I think we're just going to draw a card here because we can still play Liliana. Kolaghan's command is actually pretty nice. I think we're going to do that now. I'll have my opponent discard, I think. Makes Goyf bigger. Means we don't have to. There's a Niv Mizzet gone. But if all my opponent does next turn is play a Niv Mizzet, do with no removal spell here, although there's not usually. I don't think they usually run too many 1-mana removal spells. Yeah, so if my opponent just plays, I mean, best case scenario, my opponent has nothing for, just brings in a tap land here. Then next turn, play Niv Mizzet, and then we can just edict it. They might be running Path, but don't think so. So we do have lethal on board. Holding this Liliana to edict something like a Niv Mizzet. We can could do it. Hopefully it's not Omnath. It is Supreme Verdict. Well, we'll start ticking out. Gonna want to find like a Bloodbraid Elf or something now, really. I guess it uses my opponent's Spring to Light, but they've probably got a Niv Mizzet or something now. Jund struggles if Niv Mizzet resolves. What was that? Oh, Vanishing Verse. Good addition to this deck. Just play out the land and then have a Liliana again. I want to try Abzan with this Vanishing Verse. I think it's probably really good. Oh, what are they paying costs with now? Another Vanishing Verse? Okay, Helix. Sure. Okay, so I think they're helixing that so I can't kill a Niv Mizzet. Hopefully they haven't actually got one, but we have got draws that kill a Niv Mizzet. Yeah, looks like something here. No, it is Niv-Mizzet, isn't it? Yep. So we're going to need to find... definitely Clarion Trophy. Oh, crikey, they just found so much stuff. They find a... yeah, Fatal Push, not what we want to find there. Don't think we can beat this, if I'm honest. What's this? Another Bring to Light? Yep, that'll do it. So yeah, we just get kind of... Yeah, that's a Supreme Verdict hurt us. The lack of discard spells is a little interesting. So we're going to want Pillage. Ashiok stops Bring to Light searching. Probably want Cleansing Wildfires. We don't want any of the Fatal Pushes. Do you want Collective Brutality? Probably. Might bring in Ghost Quarter. What else can we cut? So Terminate's fine against the big guy Niv-Mizzet. Let's cut a Forgotten Cave for our Ghost Quarter. Cut a Bonecrusher. Bolt's not really doing much for us. Yeah, cut another Bolt. Go with that. Yeah, this matchup's always been pretty difficult because if Niv-Mizzet ever resolves, yeah, we just struggle to beat it. Just because it can, you know, it's a 5-mana 6/6 that we in flyer that we've always historically struggled to deal with, and it's also it also draws our opponent between sort of 3 to 5 cards, which again, you know, we're trying to trade 1 for 1 or getting 2 for 1s, but yeah, it's not the best. We don't have a threat, but we do have a Thoughtseize, Collective Brutality into Pillage. Yeah, we could do with finding like a Tarmogoyf, Bloodbraid Elf, Liliana. We do have a lot of threats to draw to. Okay, so I think we're going to fetch and shock here. We're going to get Blood Crypt. Taking a lot of damage from our lands, but okay, so Abundant Growth isn't the one. Yeah, okay, so just take Wrenn and Six here, given that we're sort of on the land destruction plan. So currently this Collective Brutality can't do anything. Okay, so that's probably target 1 for Pillage. More lands, not exactly what we want. Let's play a land and pass. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go and grab... So we need double black, double red, but get black. So I'm just going to go get Stomping Ground. Don't think we want to bolt my opponent here. Another Thoughtseize. So I think we use our mana here to pillage, and then next turn we can Thoughtseize. Yeah, hitting the forest is also good because getting rid of this abundant growth is good if my opponent ever gets Yorion. Don't want to see a Wrenn and Six here, really. So yeah, we're gonna have to Thoughtseize the Omnath. Did my opponent forget to play a land? No. Okay, Ashiok's very nice, obviously. So yeah, we're going to Thoughtseize. Yeah, we'll take the Omnath. And then we are at 10, which is a little bit worrying. Do we care about minusing Ashiok? I think we're going to minus Ashiok just because I want to hit Kroxa. Oh, they found like lightning bolt or something. No, okay. So we're going to bolt Wrenn and Six here. They put Yorion into their hand. Cleansing Wildfire is pretty nice. We'll bolt Wrenn and Six. We'll Cleansing Wildfire this. Trying to cut my opponent off colours, and then I think, do we want to mill ourselves again? I think so. Just looking for Kroxa, really. Growth spirals, put Windswept Heath into play. Another Ashiok is not too bad, but I'm gonna try and get the clock going here. Yeah, we'll have Kolaghan's command. So we'll return a creature. Have them discard a card. We'll get back Bloodbraid Elf. That's a good hit. Always like to hit Kolaghan's command off a Bloodbraid Elf. Do we want to mill ourselves again? In the hope of hitting Kroxa. No, I think we'll just hold now. Ashiok's super powerful. Did my opponent discard that swamp? No, but surprised they played the Windswept Heath. There's the swamp. Okay. Yeah, so it's going to Bloodbraid Elf again. Another Kolaghan's command. So here, I think we might... What have we got in our grave? We could get back Bonecrusher Giant. Yeah, we'll return target creature and have them discard a card. I was thinking... Because we're, you know, hitting him for 6 this turn, we might potentially want to get something, you know, shoot my opponent for 2, which would be potentially lethal next turn, but Bonecrusher Giant also does that. Is there anything that my opponent's likely to be able to do? They do run Kolaghan's command, so I think we'll mill here. Still no Kroxa is a little bit annoying. Opponent got 2 cards in hand. Helix. Okay, they Helix the Ashiok. So they do go up to 12 here, which is a little bit annoying. Okay, if the last card is like Niv Mizzet, we're in trouble. Okay, let's... Can't see anything, so we're just going to get an Overgrown Tomb. Oh, accidentally clicked Mountain. I think that's fine though. Another Cleansing Wildfire. Let's attack. Okay, my opponent is at 5, so we haven't quite got enough. So I think we'll... I think Cleansing Wildfire at the moment is a bit pointless. So I think we want to avoid being... I think we're going to escalate this. We'll drain for 2 and take a look at their hand. And then I think we'll get rid of Cleansing Wildfire. Okay, opponent concedes. So we get their game 2. Yeah, so the land disruption kind of working there. Do we want to change anything? Don't think so. Okay, so we see an interesting hand. I think we're going to keep this. You know, it's got Inquisition into Wrenn and Six into Liliana. We'd like to find a Ghost Quarter now. That would be a good draw. Okay, so we'll Blackcleave Cliffs, Inquisition. Okay, so Kaya's Guile is really annoying, but given that we're likely want... No, we're going to take the... Yeah, we're taking the Decay. It kills our Planeswalkers. Kaya's Guile kills a Tarmogoyf, but... Yeah, we are... have they found a Wrenn and Six or something? No, Abundant Growth. Sure. Goyf. So I don't think there's much point in playing a Tarmogoyf here. We're going to want black mana next turn. Yeah, there's not much point in playing a Tarmogoyf. It just dies to Kaya's Guile. So we'll get the Wrenn and Six down. And then next turn we're going to get the Liliana down. Okay, basic mountain. Cleansing Wildfire is interesting, but yeah, I think it's just let's go and get basic here. Yeah, we'll do this first. Correct sequencing. up. Okay, this cycle a Triome. We're going to discard, yes, discard Bloodstained Mire here. Maybe it was right to discard Raging Ravine. Opponent discards a land, so we know they've got Kaya's Guile land, 1 unknown. If we get to the stage where we can loop this Cleansing Wildfire, that'll be obviously pretty good. Okay, so shocking that in. Okay, Liliana again is interesting. It's quite tempting to I think we're just going to get rid of the Raging Ravine here. We're going to want to use my mana. Okay, so they lose the Vista. So we could... So we could Liliana, make them discard another card. I don't actually mind that, like... Although we know they haven't got land in hand. No, I'm going to play a Goyf. Well, there's no point in playing Tarmogoyf. I'm going to Cleansing Wildfire a land, I think. Let's Cleansing Wildfire this forest. See what we draw. Another land isn't ideal. There's not much point in playing a Tarmogoyf here. It just gets Kaya's Guiled. I mean, we could. We do have a lot of Tarmogoyfs. Do we want them? Would we rather play the Goyf and my opponent kill the Goyf, or would we rather they do something else? I think given that we've got this number of Goyfs, I think we'd probably rather just rather my opponent Kaya's Guile it rather than anything else, rather than like exiling our yard or gaining 4 life. Yeah, so here's Kaya's Guile. So we sacrifice a creature. Yeah, so they create a 1/1, so not unexpected there. Right, so we're not in bad shape at the moment. Wouldn't mind my opponent missing a land. Like a Helix or something out of my opponent is pretty bad. Let's see what they attack. So Wrenn and Six is going to be pinging this, I should say. Okay, attacking Liliana down, which is fine. Trophy. Okay, yes. Okay, so opponent only has 1 card in hand. We'll tick up. I suppose we could have ticked down. Okay, and then we'll just play 2 Goyfs, I think. They are 6/7s. Opponent does only have 4 lands. Okay, they do have 5 now. Okay, my opponent decides it's time to pack it in. I don't think they were out of that game. Okay, close there, 6-12. But, you know, they could always rip the like a Niv Mizzet. Although I suppose if we edict, attack, and then my opponent... Yeah, that's fine, yeah, because we edict, attack, put my opponent to 5... They untap, even if they draw Niv Mizzet. I suppose I could draw Supreme Verdict, but There we go. Okay, good to get there against that matchup. Always hard. See you again for round number 3. Okay, so we'll be on the play here for round number 3. And we see an awkward hand. It's a Lurrus deck. If we find any land, this hand is really good. But I think we could always cycle this. I think we're going to give it a go. It's not amazing. I think we'll play Blackcleave Cliffs, and we might even cycle this Forgotten Cave. It might be bad. We've got 2 removal spells. Okay, Bauble, not uncommon with Lurrus. Lots of Lurrus decks going around at the moment. Foothills. So this is looking like Jund Shadow. Sacred Foundry. Okay. I'm cycling because if we can hit a land here, it's just insane. If we can hit a land for Wrenn and Six, that is. Come on. Oh, maybe that's my bad, but that's very annoying. Yeah, let me know if what you guys think of that. Maybe that was wrong. We find another lightning bolt. I think I'm just going to bolt this right now. Hopefully my opponent can't. So yeah, we really just need a land to open up this hand. Okay, puts Lurrus in their hand. Okay, that is a land. So yeah, now we can finally play our Wrenn and Six. Could have done with that land many turns ago. So if my opponent has a land, they can go Lurrus into threat, which is pretty bad. But they can't play the Luminancer. But if we find a land, we can deal with all this. Okay. So yeah, we have to just kill Lurrus. Yeah, sadly my play turn 1 is coming back to bite us a little bit. We are still at 20 life. Another one of those, and 3 of those. Sadly, we're not running Maelstrom Pulse. We've got enough firepower to kill some of these, though. Light of the stage. Crikey. Okay, so we'll just ping this. Lava Dart. So I think now we're going to just kill a load of stuff. So we'll stomp this. And then we'll bolt one of these. Yeah, using Stomp on that one because it's less likely that my opponent can save it because it's got 1 toughness. And we're already pinging it for 1. Okay, Swift Spear. Okay, we're taking a lot of damage here. Okay, so we're just going to cash in this Wrenn and Six. My opponent might Lava Dart. Kolaghan's command isn't bad. I think we're just going to cash this in, try and kill this. If my opponent decides they want to Lava Dart, we'll probably Kolaghan's command. So I think we're going to Kolaghan's command, have my opponent discard, and then what are we going to kill? I think we'll kill this Luminancer. We get a bolt out of my opponent's hand, which is pretty good. Yeah, we have been short on lands. If we can find another land for a Tarmogoyf, we're not in too bad shape. Opponent is running a lot of prowess threats. Okay, opponent found a land. Blood Crypt. Do you want to shock in, or do I just want to play a Tarmogoyf? I think I'm going to shock in. I think we're pretty far behind. I think I want to get Bloodbraid down, see if we can find something good. Yeah, Fatal Push is good. Don't think we're attacking here. I think we're going to be on blocking duty. Lightning Bolt me. Light of the stage would be bad. No, it is light of the stage. Oh, crikey. Yeah, they're possibly the worst cards my opponent could have had hit off light of the stage. So much so that I think we're just dead. Yep, we just die. Those are some very good hits. Yeah, my turn one Forgotten Cave nonsense really hurt us there. But, you know, it could have easily gone the other way. Fatal Push, Collective Brutalities, probably Plague Engineer and Kalitas. I'm going to get rid of all the Thoughtseizes. Dark Confidant is a liability. Yeah, weirdly, Wrenn and Six is okay with that Luminancer. But I'll cut one, they're not amazing. Okay, see what we can do now. We're just kind of on the back foot all game, that game. Yeah, this is fine. I think we're going to lead on Raging Ravine because we're going to want to Collective Brutality a threat anyway. Yeah, so we'll Brutality that away. What is it? It's a human wizard. So we're going to do two modes. This and this. I think we want to keep a lot of cards in my hand. I think we'll get rid of the Plague Engineer, given that we drew this K command. Double Path and Crash Through. So we'll take the Crash Through. You have double Swift Spear, which is a bit worrying. Mountain, so this is probably Soul Scar Mage, Swift Spear. So know the cards in their hand. Okay, so that changes things because we can just bolt all of their stuff. So they have one threat in hand. So yeah, we're just going to Liliana the threat here. Okay, opponent pathing their own threat, which is fine with us. Yeah, we're going to play the land. Get up towards this Raging Ravine. If we have to use the K command next turn, we'll use it. Okay. So go and grab Blood Crypt. So yeah, this is a bit awkward. Plague Engineer is nice. But taking out, I think we're going to want to try and get the best of both worlds here. So I'm going to tick up, discard the Plague Engineer. And then we're going to try and buy it back with turn target creature. I could just have my opponent discard a card actually. That's not the worst. Rather than trying to kill that. No, I think we're going to try and kill that. Return target creature. So we'll return Plague Engineer and we'll kill this. If my opponent has Bolt or something, then it's Bolt and it does kill our Liliana, which is annoying. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that was probably wrong. Because my opponent, if I'd have just gone Plague Engineer, this would have definitely died and we would have, well, we wouldn't have been able to keep our Liliana, to be fair. Okay, so Lurus in hand. More lands is not what we want. So Soul Scar Mage is a human. Yeah, so we just name human here. Lurus is going to be a problem. Although they can't cast, yeah, they can cast it. Yeah, we should have saved that K command for this, I think. Now, if we don't find a removal spell pretty much right away, then we're just going to get buried by this Lurus. Goyf's not a bad pickup. Do I want to attack here? Yeah, probably. In for a free 2 damage. No way my opponent blocks that. Attacking with everything. Have I got another path? Oh, my opponent has found a lot of stuff. Yeah, finding those 2 exact cards is pretty rough. In fact, did we just die here? Not quite, but it's not far off. And my opponent gets to gain 3 life. Another Goyf. If my opponent finds... Well, actually, they can just cast... Is there another... No, there's only Illuminance, so they can't do anything with haste. Yeah, that was pretty rough, my opponent finding all that stuff. And that's just game. Yeah. That's unfortunate. I think we played okay. Yeah, I think playing that. Yeah, that was game 2. Yeah, that's a hard matchup as well. Looks like Jund isn't in the best place at the moment. Maybe I'm just playing badly. But do let me know what you guys are thinking on Jund at the moment. See you again for round number 4. Okay, so we're on the play and this hand is good. Inquisition into Tarmogoyf. We're against another Lurus deck. See what my opponent's working with. Okay, is this the same? I think here we're going to take the light up the stage. We've got the Terminate for the Soul Scar Mage. I've got a lot of lands in hand. Okay, double bauble. Sure. So I think we're going to do this at instant speed. We could just bolt that. Yeah, I think we're just going to take the opportunity to bolt that. Save the Terminate for... Oh, my opponent's not on Stormwing or... Bedlam Reveler, but Bolt can fail to kill prowess threats. Okay, so we'll go and grab, I think, Stomping Ground here. Okay, this Goyf is a 5. These Goyfs are 5/6s. Yeah, Goyf really what you want to see in these matchups. Thoughtseize. Well, we're not using that, I don't think. I think we're just gonna Goyf and go. That's a big Goyf. And then next turn we can play another Goyf. Or Terminate, or... There's a Luminancer. Wouldn't mind finding a land here. So yeah, we're just going to attack with Goyf, play a Goyf, hold up Terminate. Make sure I leave up the appropriate mana. Really like Terminate. Always liked it. Obviously Fatal Push is only 1 mana, which is key sometimes, but okay. So opponent, we're going to let my opponent do some... Okay, there's a Soul Scar Mage. They may go for bolting some of the Goyfs. They are, so given that that's a thing, we're going to terminate the Soul Scar Mage, because then the Goyf won't take -1/-1 counters. It kind of wastes my opponent's burn and prowess here. How much do I want to attack here? It gets +2/+2, so if my opponent plays another spell, well, I think I'm happy just taking the damage. I don't think we can die from 18 to like Lava Darts. Okay, we are taking some damage. We only do go to 8 here. Oh, music. Oh, crikey. Is this... Surely not. 12. I swear to God, if there's another mutagenic growth. Okay, so now we're in a bit of a... We want to draw a Bloodbraid Elf, Lightning Bolt, Planeswalker, removal spell. We've got lots of draws here. Dark Confidant doesn't really do it for us. So just going to draw a card. Right. What do we do here? So... yeah, this is an interesting spot. So if we attack, my opponent can't use Sunbait Canyon. And they can't mutagenic growth. I think we're attacking here. Yeah. And then we're going to play the land. The question is, do we play Bob? So... if we play Bob, we're pretty dead to a burn spell anyway. This is strictly instant or sorcery. We're at 4. Do we play Bob here or do we not play Bob here? We play Bob. My opponent... see, my opponent can't actually... if they find Bolt, we die. If they find Lava Dart, we die. Is it any different playing Bob versus not playing Bob? So if we play... what else could they find? They could find a Swift Spear. We don't care about that. If they find Bolt... if they find Lightning Bolt, we don't die. If they find Lightning Bolt, we're dead, but we're not if we play Bob. How great a cost is greatness here? God, 4 life. So my opponent can crack one of these. I don't think I'm going to. I think we're just going to hope to whiff. Do let me know if that's the right play. I really don't know here. I really don't know. I feel like playing Bob gives my opponent more outs. And you do get there. But, yeah. I feel like if my opponent then draws... if my opponent draws Bolt, we're pretty dead anyway. What we have drawn... yeah, I mean, we were going to die to Bob. So as it turns out, that was a good play, I think, because whatever happened with my opponent. Yeah. And here we weren't dead to something like a Manamorphose, so I think that was fine. Okay, so same plan as last time. Get those Bobs out of here. Get the Thoughtseizes out as well. Kalitas is obviously great. So we cut a Wrenn and Six last time for a Plague Engineer, which I quite like, although Wrenn and Six does have the ability to ping off one of the Luminancers. Okay, again, this hand pretty good. Inquisition into Tarmogoyf with double removal spell is exactly what we want. Okay, so we're not going to okay, now that we've drawn Fatal Push, I think we'll just play Verdant Catacombs and pass. I don't imagine my opponent is going to be running Blood Moon, but I think we are going to fetch a basic here. I possibly should have just bolted that. Okay, so I'm just going to push here off a swamp. Unfortunately, we're going to have to shock next turn. What's this? Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, that's not something I necessarily expected, but we're gonna have to kill that. Okay, so let's go. Let's be careful here. So we go Inquisition, because we're gonna want to be able to kill this for sure. Okay, so there is a mutagenic growth. And there is a lightning bolt. So we could take the growth. So growth saves that from lightning bolt. Or we could just take bolt and push it. This needs to go and get Stomping Ground into trouble. So we need all my colours. So if we take growth and then just bolt it. Yeah, I think we'll take growth. And then go get Stomping Ground. Let's bolt the Arcanist. Maybe that's wrong. But getting my colours there. Okay, opponent gets Lura, so it's maybe it was a consideration to hold that Inquisition, but I think that was fine. So we're going to just play Goyf here. Okay, and then pass the turn. See what my opponent does. That's a Soul Scar Mage. And a Crash through. So we could fetch, shock and bolt it, but given that we haven't got too much to do next turn. If my opponent, we know that my opponent's got a lightning bolt. So I think we might go for something here. My opponent could bolt the Goyf. Let's go and get. Are we gonna? What do we need? We need black and red, really. So do I want to? No, I think we're fine. Just not taking the damage here. Kroxa's quite a good draw. I think we're just going to Fatal Push. Now if my opponent wants to bolt, we can Kroxa. If my opponent wants to bolt the Goyf, oh yeah, this is good for us. Yeah, now we can get the Lurus out of my opponent's hand. With Kroxa. That's really good. Yeah, opponent just concedes to that. Okay, we get there against Prowess, so getting our own back from the game before. See you again for round number 5, playing for the 3 and 2. Okay, round number 5, we will be on the play. Sadly, we can't keep this. One lander. This is fine. I think we'll put on the Bonecrusher here. So we'll lead on Wooded Foothills. Got Fate to push up if we need it. Turn to Wrenn and Six on the play. Pretty good, although we might be about to get Thoughtseized. Oh no. Okay. So we do have to fetch here. So this is mill. So yeah, definitely wanting to kill that. We are getting Archive trapped. No surgical though, although they might just surgical in our draw step. Nope. Okay, so Wrenn and Six not the premier threat here. We'd rather have a Tarmogoyf really. We will get back Nurturing Peatland though. Got a removal spell for another creature. Doesn't look like there's one incoming. Yeah, need to find a Tarmogoyf or a okay, so we'll get, yeah, we don't really want to fetch anymore, so I think we'll just get some normal lands back. We will play this, and now I think we're just going to play Bonecrusher Giant. Get a 4 power creature onto the field. And then next turn we're obviously Bloodbraid Elfing. Okay, so here the opponent's going to just mill our creature, mill whatever we find. So we're going to find Kroxa here, and then if my opponent chooses to mill it, which looks like they are, next turn we will actually play a Kroxa. Goyf. I think we're going to play, oh, we can't play oh, I needed to bloody, that's annoying. Wanted to play Kroxa there really, but I played the wrong land. As it is, I think we'll play Bloodbraid Elf. Yeah, this is fine. So I think here we don't really need another creature. There's not another Bloodbraid Elf, so I think we're just going to target player discards a card, deal 2 to my opponent. Because then we have got lethal in 2 swings anyway. Okay, opponent's at 7. We've got so many cards in the library. I think we're just going to ping with Wrenn and Six now, just in case we need it. So opponent has to kill us this turn or remove some of our creatures. Okay, they get to draw 3 cards there. Okay, that's boltable. Yeah, I think we're probably fine here. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and bolt the Manic Scribe. Okay, we get there against Mill, despite my slight error with actually worked out fine hitting Kolaghan's command, but if we'd have hit like a Fatal Push or something, that would have pretty much scuppered the game. But yeah, played the wrong land, but we do get there. Right, so this is a matchup where we can actually board in and present a deck with more than 60 cards in it. So we're going to, you know, these will do something. Plague Engineer we don't really want. Pillage is, yeah, we'll bring in Pillage for the they run artifacts like what's it called, the 2-mana artifact that every time you untap something it mills you. Can't remember its name now. Collective Brutality is obviously pretty good. We don't want to go too heavy. Oh, we can bring in Ghost Quarter though, because you know, that ups the land count as well, so we can afford a few more cards. Ashiok is the only other one I'm really interested in. Is there anything we don't want? Don't think so. Okay, let's go with that. Mesmeric Orb, is it the 2-mana one? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, we can present a deck with a few more. We're going to keep this. It's got loads of Thoughtseizes in. Not going to do the Forgotten Cave cycle trick. Okay, so that changes things. That's not a bad draw. Now we can cycle if we want, but I'm just going to bolt this. I think getting that off the field as quickly as possible is the way we want to go. Just the 2-mana mill spell. Yep. Okay, Kolaghan's command. So we'll Inquisition first. Okay, my opponent only has one card. I think we're going to play this. Do we just cycle Forgotten Cave? I think so. We'll represent Bolt. Maybe just Field of Ruinous here. So we'll go and grab a swamp. Sadly, our forest has been milled. Oh, Archive Trap as well. These Thoughtseizes aren't amazing. I'm going to cycle here. Wrenn and Six. That is a green land. I think we know both cards in my opponent's hand, so let's play this, play a Spellbomb, and then we'll pass the turn. Next time we can play Wrenn and Six, get back a Ruin Crab, sure. Okay, so we're going to want to kill that really. Yeah, I'm just going to Spellbomb my opponent. I think it's better than Spellbombing me here. So yeah, Wrenn and Six is obviously a good card here. Okay, so we find a land, which is okay, but we're going to play this Wrenn and Six. I think we're just going to get back. We need more black mana for Kroxa, so let's just get back this Peatland. It serves double purpose there. Play the Peatland. Oh, I should play Kroxa there. Oh, I can't believe I've done it again. Yeah, I should have gotten back a land that enabled us to play Kroxa, because then so grab the forest. So yeah, we will. Okay, so I think we're using K command. Oh, Fatal Push is really good, because now we can just push that and do other things as well. So we'll push this right away. Tick up Wrenn and Six to grab. I think we'll just grab Ravine here. We can't play Kroxa this turn. We We could play one Kroxa actually. We could just, actually, let's just grab back Forgotten Cave, see if we can't find a spell. Yeah, we can cycle this, look for a Tarmogoyf. Yeah, a bit of mis-sequencing there from me. I should have left up different lands to play Kroxa last turn, so he could have gotten the land out of my opponent's hand. As it happens, they top-decked another land anyway. We could play Kroxa, but we don't really care about the land now, so... okay, so don't know if there's anything to fetch for, so might be worth having a look. So what's in our graveyard? So red lands would be Stomping Ground or Blood Crypt. Can't see a Blood Crypt in there. Yeah, I think we'll fetch now. Fetching now to play around. Now we could play Kroxa. Yeah, I think we'll play Kroxa now. There is a Bloodbraid Elf though. In the bin. Yeah, I think we're just going to use the K command to make my opponent discard. No point in doing it yet. Exile, that's pretty good. So we'll get back, return target creature card. So we'll get back Bloodbraid Elf. They can discard a card. So Kroxa's still going to be potent here. But my opponent is going up a lot of life. Yeah, opponent at 31. There is only 15 cards in my library. Bob. Okay. So we'll get back a land. Grab a swamp. Play the land. Now we want to... yeah, so we'll Bloodbraid first. We will cast that. And then we'll play Kroxa as well, so that we can increase the clock. I mean, we're dead to quite a lot here. So yeah, we need our opponent to draw pretty badly here. Drawing fatal pushes and things. Oh, extirpate, so we can't do anything about that either. At least it doesn't actually mill us. Okay, Goyf is a nice draw. I think we're going to get Raging Ravine here though, and then try and swing in for a lot of damage. So play a Goyf. Play Dark Confidant. Okay, we're holding in 12 cards in library. So yeah, we are still dead to a lot of things. We've got a lot of power on the board. We've got 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If we find a land, we can just bolt my opponent out of the game nearly. In fact, at the end of turn, I might Spellbomb to draw. It depends what my opponent finds. Okay, mission briefing. Then choose an instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. You may cast it this turn. So they choose Crypt Incursion to gain some life, but I could Spellbomb myself. There's not many creatures in there, actually, so I don't think I care. They could extirpate some. They could extirpate the lightning bolt. This is a weird one. You may cast it this turn. So we're not going to get priority here. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. So there are all 4 lightning bolts are gone. So if my opponent wants to go that route, I think we're fine with it. Yeah, I think we're going to let this resolve. Okay, so they've put 1 on top, which does mean okay, they're extirpating Kolaghan's command. Oh, okay, so that I cannot. Maybe we should have stopped this, because that implies my opponent's got something pretty good on the top of their library. Because they want to protect it from Kolaghan's command. Okay, so I think I'm just going to Spellbomb my opponent here, and I'm going to draw the card. Drawing a card is a bit scary, but yeah, I think we want... Okay, Ghost Quarter's pretty good, actually, because that can force my opponent to shuffle. Bob is a bit... Another Spellbomb. Okay. So, yeah, we'll just Remblem, I think. We don't really want to start drawing any more cards. So we have a lot of stuff we can do. We could pillage a load of their lands. Let's Ghost Quarter first. Take out a Boro. Okay, opponent has searched. So that's good. It stopped my opponent getting the top card of their deck. We're hitting him for 5, 8, 9, 10. We can't kill my opponent this turn realistically. So I think we'll attack in and hope they don't find anything. Don't think we've got anything else that we can do. We could have pillaged a land, but given that my opponent searched for a card, I think that's fine. And then, yeah, we just need to hope my opponent can't kill us. We can deal with a threat. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that should just do it. Yep, we get there against Mill. Bit surprised. I mean, they might have had to search because it might have been Archive Trap on top, which costs 5 mana. So yeah, something like that. But yeah, that we get there. good to get the 3 and 2. What do we think of the deck? So seemed pretty cool. I always had a massive soft spot for Jund. You know, Wrenn and Six is really good. Bonecrusher Giant felt really good actually. Yeah, I really liked that. Didn't seem to, you know, I think I'm a fan of having, you know, more discard than this, but yeah, I don't think we noticed it too much. So yeah, pretty happy with it. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Please do give us a subscribe if you did, and we'll see you again soon for some more mid-range magic. Cheers.